Alright guys, so I know it's been a couple days, so I am going to go ahead and do the story time on how my boyfriend bit my lips off and I had to get reconstructive surgery. So for people that didn't see my video that had went viral a couple days ago, this situation did take place back in March. I may have to break it up in a couple parts, so please bear with me, as this is something that I am still physically healing from, emotionally healing from, so please bear with me.
She must be dating baby Mike Tyson. The hell? Now I'm not trying to make light of DV, y'all. I'm just saying that's some wild. I hope he ended up in a insane asylum or something like that after this. I hope this story time ends up with him somewhere locked up with his mouth taped shut or something because that's insane.
Okay, so boom. Me and my ex, we had been together for about 10 months. This isn't a stranger. I've been knowing him since high school and I graduated in 2014. So we've been knowing each other for a good chunk of time. For the people that was asking me and want to know if there was like past abuse or if this is something that I have been going through with him, no. This is not anything that I have been going through with him. However, there were red flags and I will discuss that during this story time. Okay, so it all took place back in March on the 17th. We had decided that we were going to go to his hometown. His family was having like a get together, and he wanted me to go down there and meet his side of the family and meet all of the friends that he grew up with. So we were going to stay down there 2 days. I had ended up getting a rental and a hotel room, and we drove down there, and we were going to stay down there for 2 days and come back. So I packed up me and my two dogs and him, and we headed down there. It's about 2 hours away from where I currently stay at now. And just to give you some context, yeah, we had been together for 10 months. He was living with me at the time. And he had been living with me for a while. He actually, ironically, became homeless a few months into us starting to mess with each other. The only reason why I'm giving y'all these little details is because it's all going to tie into the story. So we go down there the first day. It was good vibes. Like, I met his family that I had never seen in person. I met some of his friends that I had never met. We chilled with some of the friends that I have met. And everything was copacetic. So we stayed down there the first day. And everything took place on the second day. And I feel like it was like little signs and stuff telling me not to go down here, but I still went. Anyways, not anything that he did, but for instance, they were supposed to be having like a little family get together. They decided the day of us coming down there that they weren't going to have it on that particular day. However, the rental was already paid for. The hotel room was already booked. So we just decided, hell, it's only 2 hours away. Might as well go down there and see your family. So we went. So again, on the second day, we wake up. I go meet his best friend. His best friend that he's been friends with since he was 8 years old. We go out to eat. We have a good time. We decided that because we had drove down there straight after work and we hadn't really gotten a lot of sleep, that after we had went to eat, we were going to go back to the crib, take a nap, and then we were going to get up and we were going to chill with everybody because it was going to be our last night down there. And we were kind of rushing for time because both of us had to be to work the next day. Like the day that we were coming back, we had to be to work. So boom, we go out to eat. We have a good, dinner. And then we go back to the room and we lay down. When we wake up, we decided that we were going to go drink with his aunt. And then we were going to go chill with his other homeboy. We're going to call this homeboy B. So we end up waking up. We go chill with his aunt. No, I do want to give y'all a couple little, tips. First of all, when we came down there, we were only down there for 2 days. We had 2 bottles. The first bottle got gone the first day. We had shared that bottle with maybe 5 other people. So that bottle was gone. We had the second bottle. So when we got to his aunt crib, I told him, like, hey, being that we have multiple places that we're going, it's probably not the best idea to drink this whole bottle at your aunt's house. But, of course, that shit went in one ear and out the other. The whole bottle got drunk at his aunt crib. It was good vibes. We was all laughing, playing games, you know, doing what we do. So his aunt is like, "Oh, I got this other bottle that I forgot about. Let's open that up." And I told him, I'm like, "Hey, I don't want us to get too drunk. Like, you know, let's pace ourselves because we still have another place we have to go." He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care at all. He got fucked up. He was drunk as hell. Mind you, I am the only licensed driver. The rental is in my name. So he decided that he did not want to go chill with homeboy B. He wanted to go chill with homeboy A. I have to give y'all a little backstory on homeboy A. Homeboy A got a baby mama. I had met the baby mama before. We had like FaceTime with each other. We done talked to each other on the phone prior to me meeting her in person. When I met her in person on day one, she was cool. Everything was fine. She was kind of standoffish for real, because she was in her room. But from what I seen, she was cool. Now, the second day, the first thing we did is went over to homeboy's A house. Okay? I know homeboy A. Homeboy A has spent the night at my house before. He's came to our hometown. So I've had a history with homeboy A. He's cool. However, the second day I came there, the baby mama was a little off. And the reason why I say this is because the way that she was acting was off. How she was dressed was off. And I just kind of got weird vibes from her. And when we left homeboy's A house that morning of the second day, I told my boyfriend at the time, I said, "Hey, I don't think that we should go back over here." The reason why I say that we shouldn't have gone back over there is because homeboy A, baby mama, and my boyfriend at the time had a history with each other prior to us being in a relationship. And my boyfriend told me that him and homeboy A fell out a few years ago because homeboy A, baby mama, and my boyfriend at the time was fucking on the low. Yeah. So I already was side-eyeing her, you know, anyways, because you have a past with my ex on some shady shit. You cheated on your boyfriend with his best friend, you know. So I'm already looking at you sideways. And on top of that, he's not the only homeboy that she's had sex with. Keep it a buck. And I don't care if anybody from my hometown see my story time and they get mad at what I'm about to say. But she confessed to my ex-boyfriend that she slept with homeboy A biological brother. So that's the context that I want to give you. She was a hoe. But somehow we ended up at homeboy A's house. We were supposed to go to homeboy B house, but somehow we ended up at homeboy's A house after we left the aunt crib. I was upset about it because I feel like as a woman, I've already expressed to you that I'm not comfortable, and you're putting me in a fucking uncomfortable situation while both of us is under the influence. Now, I wasn't drinking as much as him, but I still had some alcohol in my system, so it's like you're putting me in a weird spot. So we pull up to the crib. I tell him how I feel. He's not really like giving a fuck about what I'm saying. So I'm starting to get a little irritated, and of course we start arguing. Guys, I'm so sorry. My time is running out. Give me a second for part 2. Alright, guys. Y'all been on my neck in the comments. Okay? I had to work. I had to get some money. Alright, so story time part 2 on how my ex-boyfriend bit off my lips and I had to get reconstructive surgery. So we were at the part of us pulling up to homeboy A's house. Now, I do see a lot of comments, so I do want to clear some things up. So I did mention that I was the only licensed driver between me and him. However, I live in North Carolina. So 90% of the people I know drives and they don't have license. I'm sorry, but that's how it is.
I've actually took a trip to South Carolina the other day, and I was wondering why the hell y'all be driving like that. 90% of y'all, that's a hot, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. The next time I'm in South Carolina, there's gonna be a lot of calls being made, because ain't no way it's 90% of drivers on the road. Where's the law? Where's the law?
He was driving only because I have bad eyes. If you scroll down my TikTok, you'll see I wear glasses in a lot of my videos. And we were in a very rural part of the state that I live in. It was barely any street lights, and we got deers. So he was the one that was driving when we were in his hometown. So when we were going to homeboy A's house, I did not know where we were going. I was assuming that we were going to homeboy B's house until we turned on their little street because they live in a weird area. I knew that we were going to homeboy A's house. So another thing that I want to clear up before I get into this, I know that you guys are on my neck in the comments about me calling that girl a hoe. And she is a hoe, and I'm going to tell you guys why I think she's a hoe. So, mind you, homeboy A, baby mama, slept with my ex-boyfriend, but that is not the only homeboy she slept with. She slept with my ex-boyfriend 2 years prior to me and him getting into a relationship. Less than a year ago, she confessed to my ex-boyfriend that she had sex with homeboy B. Now, I'm about to gag y'all. Homeboy A and homeboy B are biological brothers with the same mother and father. So if this girl can have relations with my ex and the brother, you got to be a hoe. What else qualifies you? So when we pull up to the house, I immediately let him know that, why are we here? I don't want to be here. However, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like to get into it. So instead of me just like saying, "Hey, let's go," I said, "Hey, I understand that you don't get the opportunity to see your homeboys a lot because y'all stay so far away from each other. So what I'll do is I'll stay in the car and you can go in there and, chill. I'll take me a nap." He did not like that. He wanted me to go in the house. He wanted me to be in the mix. And I just didn't feel like that was fair to me. I felt like he was being very inconsiderate. So it definitely did start an argument. We were arguing for maybe about 10 minutes. Mind you, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We in a little country-ass town. It's not a lot of people that live in that area. So apparently, when we got out the car, because I finally just said, you know what? I'll be the bigger person. And I'll go in here and, I'll do whatever. I'll play that role. Apparently, we were so loud in the car that they heard us in their house because we was parked on the side. So when we got out to knock on the door, he was already like opening the door and greeting us. And when he opened the door, he was like, "Nah, pretty much y'all can go back home." Which I thought that was kind of fucked up. I thought it was fucked up because homeboy A, as I stated in my first part, I know him. He's slept at my house before. He's actually slept at my house several times before because he was too intoxicated. He couldn't drive back to his house, so I let him spend the night. So I thought that was kind of weird, that he was just shooing us away. But nevertheless, I digress. I understand they got kids. So I didn't argue. I didn't fight it. I turned around and I looked at my ex and I said, "Hey, let me get the keys." This is where shit started to get weird. So I tell him, let me get the keys. He doesn't want me to drive for some odd reason. For the people asking in the comments, yes, I paid for the hotel room and I paid for the rental. Yes, I'm a dumb bitch. I get it. Okay? I was stupid. So me and him is arguing about who's going to drive back. At this point, we're probably about maybe 8 feet apart from each other. He's standing on one side of the car. I'm standing on the other. And as we're arguing, he's making his way around the car to the passenger door. And I'm still probably about like 3 feet back from the passenger door. So I'm not right up on the car. So it gets to a point where we kind of like standing face to face. Now, at this point, the argument has gotten past who's driving home. Now we're saying things to hurt each other. I know I probably said some things to hurt him. Not anything personal, but probably things that I was feeling because, yes, as I stated, I paid for the rental. I paid for the room. When we had first agreed to go down there, I was under the impression that I was going to be getting reimbursed back for half of my money, and I didn't get anything. So, yes, I probably was harboring feelings as we were going through the weekend because I'm kicking out money for food, gas, and at this point, I'm feeling like I'm being used, and I don't like that. So it gets to a point where, like I said, we standing face to face, and he runs and he charges and he throws me on the ground and he bites me in my face. Now, before he bites me in my face,
All right. So what she just said pretty much was that this all started. The reason why she got bit in the face It's because she did not want to go in and entertain the homeboys. And then when it was time to go and drive back home, they too intoxicated, right? She don't want to be the one to drive. Now she's probably making a little light of the situation of what she did, but I'm not saying what he did was justified in no way. So please don't put that on me. I'm just saying this. Something had to be missing in between that. Because no way somebody just charges you and bites you on your lips because all you wanted to do is have him drive. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying maybe we missing some pieces. Sometimes with traumatic moments, we tend to leave out things because typically you have trauma block. Let's keep watching because maybe we missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comment section.
Face, we were kind of like wrestling a little bit because he got my arms pinned back, and then he bit me in my face. I'm screaming. Of course, naturally, I am trying to get him up off of me, but at the end of the day, he is a man, and I'm not a huge woman. Like, I probably got weight on him, but height wise, he is taller than me, so he is kind of overpowering me. So as he's biting me, I'm confused because I don't know what's going on. I finally get to the point where I push him off. And when I push him off, I tell him, I'm about to you. And I meant it. I meant it. Fun fact, again, I stay in North Carolina. I'm licensed to carry. I feel like my life is in danger. So now's the perfect time for me to use my protection. So sorry, guys. My time is about to run out. Part 3, last part, okay? All right, guys, y'all is not letting me live, okay? I'm doing it before I go to work. So here we are, part 3 of my ex-boyfriend biting off my lips, and I had to get reconstructive surgery. All right, so at this point, like I said, I'm feeling like my life is in danger. He just finished biting me. I was able to push him off of me, so he's kind of like on the side of me, and I just let him know, hey, I'm about to you. Like, so at this point, he's trying to get up off the ground, and I had my purse strapped around the side of me. So I end up reaching on the side to retrieve what I'm about to retrieve. So I retrieve it. As I'm retrieving it, because you got to understand everything is moving really fast. As I retrieve it, he's getting up and I fire. Mind you, it's pitch black dark. So as he's getting up to run into the direction of the house, I fire again, but it jams. So I'm not in my right mind. As I said, everything is running pretty fast. So I'm just trying.
That's very incriminating. I will take that. Oh shit, it's too late now. It's too late now. I hope this ain't no case. That is crazy. You said that he got up and he started running and you started shooting at him while he was running? Now, I don't know how laws work in y'all states. But in Ohio, we are a stand your ground state. But I think if a man start running, you have to stop. You no longer a threat to your life. So, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been in this situation before. And I wasn't the one running.
Just click, 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 click. Ain't nothing working. So I'm getting upset. As I'm doing that, I'm also walking up to where, the house is at. I jiggle the doorknob. It's locked. I try to kick it down. It's locked. At this point, the baby mama and homeboy A is looking at me and they like, oh my God, your face. I feel my face throbbing, but I'm not realizing that I got blood gushing and running down my face. I feel defeated. Ain't nobody try to help me. Ain't nobody try to break anything up. Again, I am in an area where I don't know anybody at. And my ex had went to prison for poking up his own brother. And I know that it's a lot of red flags, y'all. And with me even just saying that out loud, it sounds crazy. But I did not feel like I was in a safe spot. And my protection is now not working. It's jammed. So I end up finding the keys on the ground and I end up leaving from that area. Now, a lot of y'all are going to ask me, Keisha, why didn't you call the law? Why didn't you call 12? As a black woman living in North Carolina that has dealt with DV before in the past, not in this relationship, but in the past, I don't feel safe calling them. At this point, in an area where I don't know where I'm at, my dogs is in a hotel. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm okay. So I'm speeding back to the hotel. I pack up my dogs. As I'm packing up my dogs, I'm going back and forth in and out of the hotel. I see his friend A car like coming in and looking like they about to try to pull behind my car. So I hurry up. I kick it in second gear and I get everything in the car. They tried to pull up beside me and say something, but at this point, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you have. I don't feel safe. Now, I did let the front desk lady know what happened, so that they can be able to call the law, because at this point, I'm losing a lot of blood, y'all. Like, I'm losing a lot of blood. At this point, I'm now sitting down in a point, I'm sitting in my car, I'm able to, like, pull the mirror down and really assess my face. My whole lip right here was hanging off. This whole piece right here was missing. He bit 3 centimeters of my lip off. Like he took a chunk of my lip off, and this whole piece right here was hanging down. So I'm like, I'm just so devastated at this point. I did call my mother. I was actually on the phone with my mother as I was, finished packing up. She immediately told me to come back home. She like, hey, come back home ASAP so we can go to the hospital and report him. So I go to the hospital. Of course, in the state of North Carolina and probably a lot of states, anytime you come into the hospital with a severe injury, they're going to get the police involved. So I was able to, do a report there at the hospital. And the hotel lady did have a detective from the area where he's at to call me. Now, I do want to let y'all know something. He's not in jail. Sorry to ruin y'all. He's not in jail. As bad as he should be in jail.
This is on you. Don't put us in this. I'm just listening. I don't got nothing to do with this. Talking about we sorry. No. We not feeling no way, baby. That's on you. I will hope he was in jail. You just told me he wasn't in jail. That answered my question. Shit. Now ain't running the streets free, y'all. Let's see. This is getting crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. We listen, we don't judge.
He's not, and I'm going to tell you why. As I stated in part 1, he had been living with me for 10 months. Prior to him living with me, he was living with somebody else. Prior to that, he was living, like, this man was a homosexual, y'all, and I did not know. The reason that he's not in jail is because can't nobody find him. As I said in part 1, he had been living with me for 10 months. Prior to that, he was living with somebody else. So the address that he had on his license was not a valid address. They are still pursuing charges for him, but they can't find him. However, there is an order set in place to where he cannot contact me. We cannot be in the same area. He's blocked on all social medias, all platforms, but nobody can find him. But I do know going forward, that is a situation that I would never, ever turn around and deal with again. And I wanted to put my story out here for the young ladies. When you see those red flags, please be better than me and leave at the first instant. At the first red flag, leave. And I did also make a comment about him going to prison, about another situation with his brother. He had made it seem like to me that he was protecting his mother. Like his brother was trying to attack his mother, and that's why he poked up his brother. So that's the reason why I didn't look at him crazy when he told me that. But this is my story time. Y'all been on my neck for it, so here it go. It did displace me out of work for a while, but I am back in my job. As y'all can see, I'm healing pretty good. I still go through pain. This whole part of my lip is, a replacement. They had to take this skin from somewhere else, so this is still healing. There are still days where I am still in a lot of pain, and they told me that it's probably going to take a full year before I'm able to, fully get back to myself. For anybody that might got some products about any scar removal or anything like that, please let me know, because I'm definitely interested.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. She should still probably get some type of seek shelter, get the hell away from where she used to be. Just because a person have all of those restraining orders and all that stuff against him, doesn't all that means? First of all, do we even have a restraining order? She said she did, but they can't get in contact with him. So how the hell did she get the restraining order? Can you get the restraining order without him going to court? Maybe. You never know. Maybe she got a temporary restraining order until they can get a case drawn on him, or maybe it's just temporary. But I would still lay low. I would still lay low. Like, you think because you have him blocked on all social medias that he might not see this video, but that's not how social media work. If you don't want people to see these type of things, don't post it online. That's my only advice to y'all, because they will see this. It don't matter if you block them on all social media platforms. They're just gonna create a new profile. Come on now. We all deal with crazies. We've all dealt with a crazy before. Stop lying, or you're the crazy one. But anyway, I'm moving on to the next story time. Make sure y'all follow Keisha on her TikTok. Make sure y'all follow her on all social platforms. I'll see y'all in the next story time. Peace out.